Mary Ann Oberheim says Chris was a good kid.
Pretty much just the average son. He enjoyed sports. His younger days in school weren't exactly his favorite ones. He was a good brother.
Chris is Mary Ann's first child.
He was one of the older boys in the neighborhood, and he was always there to help the younger kids. They play ball in the backyard.
She never thought he would go into a life of law enforcement. So when Chris came home and told his mom he was going to be a cop,
I remember exactly what I told him. I told him he should be a dog catcher. And the reason, well, he made me mad. He laughed. He thought that was funny. I was serious.
She told Chris if he wanted to be in a uniform and work for the city, he should choose the least dangerous job possible.
Because in my mind, I thought that the worst thing that could happen to him was he would be bit by a dog.
And while that was not the route Chris chose,
he was very dedicated to his job. He worked hard to pass the requirements to get into work for the police department.
Mary Ann says she was happy that his first job as a cop was working in nearby Decatur.
He'd stop by often on his dinner breaks or whatever and just kind of check in.
And that's the way it was for 7 years, until Chris took a job with the Champaign Police Department, a job he held for the next 13 years of his career.
Chris will be okay. I said, you know, and I kept telling him, I said, Chris would never go out without his vest on.
She learned to manage the fears any mother of a police officer has, until she got a call that changed her life from her son Joe around 4:30 in the morning on May 19th of 2021.
He just told me, he said, Chris has been shot, Mom. And I heard him. I heard what he said, but I needed him to repeat that. And he did, and I hung up on him.
Her other son, Matt, called her back and said he was coming to pick her up.
I did ask Matt. I said, so what's the situation? And Matt said, Mom, you just need to pray.
Mary Ann's first thought was Chris was wearing his vest. He'll be okay. But when she heard he was not going to be okay,
I just felt like somebody reached so far down inside. And I don't know. I didn't believe it.
A year later, that ache is still a daily companion. She says seeing Chris's name engraved on a wall in our nation's capital was hard.
When he was growing up, he received many trophies for athletic things that he had done, and his name was on plaques at school and things, and you know, that was a good feeling to see those. That was okay. That was good. And now not so good.
Mary Ann says she was overwhelmed with the amount of names she saw next to her son's.
It's just seeing his name and you know that it should not be there.
And while the experience was hard, she says it brought a different kind of peace, knowing that their family is not the only one going through the loss of an officer.
Since we'd been here, we were met at the airport with an honor guard and escorted here. That was quite a deal. But now we watch. We hear the motorcycles. We see the blue and red lights on them. And we know that's another family. And we hear that all day long. And so there's others out there. We're not the only one.